Now, so, when last we met, we were on this series about what these numbers mean. And we got all the way up to the fourth day. So there are many more days that we need to cover. Because, again, you're going to realize that the numbers are speaking about level of understanding, level of wisdom in a man. We've been using Genesis 1 to show you the different levels or stages of your understanding or your education. That's how the Most High creates a spiritual prophet. All right. So we're going to continue on with that lesson. But before we go, we're going to give you a little bit more information here. And we're going to start at, we're going to 2 Peter 3:8. All right. Because this is the stuff that people get confused with. All right. And it's important that we make you understand. All right. When you look at what this is saying, it's saying something kind of specific. All right. And it's designed to help you to understand what the Bible is saying. All right. Read that for me, Elder.
Yes, sir. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. But, beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing.
All right. We always tell you when it's talking about a thing, it's talking about a doctrine. Now he's telling you to don't be ignorant about this thing, this portion of the doctrine that I'm about to tell you. All right. Read.
That one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years. And 1,000 years as one day.
Okay. So now he's telling you something. One day, right? And 1,000 years. He's saying they're the same thing. What's the difference between the number 1 and the number 1,000? What's the difference? What'd you say?
A few zeros.
That's right. The only difference between the 1 and the 1,000 is the zeros. So if you see a number, right, that says, let's say, the children of Israel spent 400 years in captivity, right? He's telling you, don't get confused by the 2 zeros at the end of that 400. He's talking about the fourth day. All right. If it says something about Saul slayed 1,000, David slayed 10,000, he just told you that the 1 and the 1,000 mean the same thing, right? So he's telling you Saul slayed people. He slayed people to the first day. David slayed them up to the 10th day. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Y'all see what's going on?
Yeah.
You gotta pay attention to what the Most High is saying. That's what that's telling you. Don't sweat the zeros. All right. Don't get caught up in the zeros. All right. And there's gonna be a couple of situations in here where you're gonna understand exactly why this is important. We're gonna go to Psalms chapter 90. Right. And he's saying the same thing. All right. Because we always try to get at old 2 or 3, unless y'all think we're lying. Read that, Elder.
Yes, sir. Psalms chapter 90 and verse 4. For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday, when it is past, and as a watch in the night.
Okay, so he letting you know the same thing. All right, it's like one day yesterday. Okay, one day is 1,000 years, but he also telling you that years and days mean the same thing. He telling you days, months, years, weeks, hours, all the time mean the same thing. So whenever he's using it in the Bible, he might go and say, well, 3.5 days or 3.5 weeks, times, and parting of time. You see what I'm saying? He does it. It's interchangeable. He's telling you, don't get confused. All right. And don't get tripped up by the zeros. All right.
Can I add on to that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Sir? Can we go to Revelation 20 and 4? Did you already have that in your notes?
No, sir. You're doing great.
Revelation 20 and 4 through 7, sir. For these people who want to talk about the 1,000 years to back up what Elder is saying.
Read that, Elder.
Yes, sir. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus.
So what was going on? It wasn't like people sitting in a chair chopping off heads. What was going
What's on your head? What's on your head? They converted.
Right.
Yeah.
So the judgment
they
was given.
They was changing their doctrines. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Somebody gonna come teaching war. The other one gonna come teaching peace. Some gonna come teaching hate. Some gonna come teaching love. You want to find the person teaching love. He telling you. If somebody coming up in here talking about it's gonna be a whole lot of heads getting chopped off and all that other stuff and scaring the devil out of all these people, that ain't the guy you want to listen to, because he don't know what he's talking about. Okay, he trying to scare you and bind you up in his doctrine where you fear him and you don't fear what the Most High actually saying. We explaining to you what it means. All right.
They're converting. All this is talking about people are converting.
And for the word of God.
You see right there, that's what he's talking about. They weren't their heads chopped off because they believe in the Bible. They're talking about they're converting, they beheading them, they taking off their heads, meaning that thoughts they had in their mind, and they started following the word of God with the witness of Jesus, meaning because they started following the 2 or 3. They were gathered. 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. He's there, meaning you got 2 or 3 witnesses in the Bible, 2 or 3 scriptures. That's the doctrine of Jesus. So they started converting people. Read.
And which had not worshipped the beast.
So they didn't worship that carnal foolishness. They didn't believe any of that stuff.
Yes. Beast is a man.
Neither his image.
They didn't believe in his AI pictures and
his teaching.
His teaching.
Teacher of lies.
Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads.
Again, they didn't believe in his doctrine. They didn't believe in the beast doctrine.
Or in their hands.
Same thing. It's all repeating the same thing over and over.
Ain't no microchip, y'all.
No.
Ain't no microchip.
No.
Why they got to spend $10,000 to implant a microchip on you when you got the microchip next to your ear when you're talking on the phone
and texting?
Come on, be quiet, y'all.
And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Yeah, the first day.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew I don't hate nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So you heard it and you was like, nah, I don't believe in hating people. That's all you got. That's what you're living in Christ. Read.
Yep.
Verse 5. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first resurrection.
The first resurrection in Christ. People started understanding that's the doctrine. When you first saw it, you're like, oh my goodness, that's what that means? That's the first resurrection. Because somebody proved it to you. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Meaning you changing your doctrine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see that. You see what we're saying. You see him per the scriptures. They showing you 2 or 3. Okay, water's the word. So you went through the path of showing you what it's breaking down to, and you start to resurrect it in your mind.
This is what's called giving the sense.
Right.
Not trying to sit up and repeat what this reader is saying. We actually breaking down what it actually means. And you got the precepts at the bottom of the screen to help you along.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Elder.
Verse 6. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection.
You're blessed and holy because you see it. Holy means you have the understanding. Blessing is the teaching. You blessed and you got the understanding of the first resurrection. So once the first time I brought it to you, you understood it. Read.
On such the second death hath no power.
That other carnal ain't gonna have no power over you no more. Mm-hmm. All that carnal belief that you have is never like a man walking on water has no power. Mm-hmm. You said a man putting a stick in the ground and splitting the Red Sea, they ain't gonna have no power over you. You gonna be like, nah. When you see a brother that come up here and tell you that something's not in the Bible, that is in the Bible, that's not gonna have the power over you no more. Because you're gonna truly understand what it means.
Mm-hmm.
But they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
That's right. So now you're gonna keep that belief system. How to prove it? Next verse, last verse.
Verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Well, the whole thing is the situation's gonna come right after the Most High have converted all of them people, right? Satan gonna be loose out of his prison, all right? And he gonna try and bring you back, all right? He gonna be trying to bring you back into that understanding. Like what you seeing now, right? You seeing a lot of people who got the wisdom, right? They saw that thing, they saw that light, they said, wait a minute, that makes sense, right? And then when they go and they ask a question, right, to try and get the proper understanding, them people gonna be trying everything in the world in order to get them people back under that doctrine, that deception that they've been teaching. That's what's happening right now. Okay, Satan trying to deceive them people into believing that we're lying and that they're telling the truth. All right. That's what you're dealing with right now.
Drop down to verse 10 and I'm done. It's for you, old Satan.
Verse 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone.
Them precepts and everything started bombing them.
That's right. That's right.
Read.
Yes, sir. Where the beast and the false prophet are.
So if you read this, now you know what the beast is. The beast is a false prophet.
Yes.
Okay.
You tell him.
and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Every time they see you, every time you try to teach something, they gonna barrage you with the word of God. 2 or 3 precepts. That's Nobody gonna believe you no more.
That's right.
Your reign is over.
You're done.
You're right.
You're done.
That's it.
Can I add that to what Elder Stephen was saying? Mark 4:15, when he's saying Satan come try to take the word, will take you out from hearing the word.
Yep.
Because they bring this out all the time, but they don't know what they're talking about.
Read that out.
Mark chapter 4 and verse 14. The sower soweth the word. Verse 15. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately.
Yes.
What is class?
Yes.
And taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts.
In their minds, hearts and minds.
That's a good precept right there. That's a good precept, because that's what's happening, right? Soon as you start getting the understanding, right, them people start coming with their lies, right? They never bring the 2 or 3. You just got to listen to me, because I have the status of a bishop or a deacon, or I'm a captain. You see what I'm saying? They're not giving you the precepts that will help you to follow their doctrine, because they don't exist. Like that man said, it ain't nowhere in the Bible where the Most High destroyed one nation and saved all nations. That's what he said. But we clearly showed that the Most High destroyed the nation of Egypt, and the Israelites and the mixed multitude that was in there with the Israelites, all of them ended up getting the covenant, taking the oath to follow the Most High doctrine.
Right.
All right. All praises to the Most High.
All praise.
Okay. So now,
all praises.
We're going to look at this 5th day. All right. In the 5th day, you now know how to teach the spiritual doctrine. That's what the 5th day talking about. Okay. So we're going to go back over here to Genesis 1, because again, Genesis 1 is telling you how a man raises up, man, woman, it's not gender specific, but how a person raises up from their carnal belief, and then they convert to a spiritual understanding, right? Now let's look at this 5th day, so y'all can get a better understanding of what happens, all right? We're going to start at Genesis 1 and 20, because it's going to explain to you that at this level, you're going to be able to teach the spiritual doctrine. Read that, Elder.
Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 20. And God said, let the waters.
What's the water?
Bring word.
Okay. Read. So now you after the 4th day, now you've seen the light. So you got the spiritual doctrine. You converted, right? So
yes,
at the 5th day, it's saying, let the doctrine, read,
bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life.
Now it's telling you, let the doctrine bring forth creatures that have life. Y'all see that? So your doctrine gonna be converting people to the spiritual. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Read.
And fowl that may fly above the earth.
Above the earth is spiritual. Above. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
In the open firmament of heaven.
In the doctrine of heaven. Y'all see that?
Sir.
Verse 21.
And God created great whales.
What's a whale?
A beast.
Yes, it's a what? A teacher, a prophet. Yes.
In the water.
Yes. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Read.
And every living creature
what
that
living
moveth.
Mean? What living mean?
Got the spiritual doctrine.
Christ.
Yes. You see that? He talking about at the 5th day, he talking about you the whale. All right. You're the living creature. Y'all see that? He talking about prophets. Y'all see
yes,
that?
Sir.
Yeah.
Which the waters brought forth abundantly.
There's going to be a lot of people who going to start converting, and they're going to be converting to the spiritual doctrine because of the spiritual prophet. Y'all see that? Read.
After their kind.
What kind of prophet is a living prophet?
Righteous.
Yeah. That's a spiritual prophet. Y'all see that?
Spiritual.
That's the kind. Okay.
And every winged fowl after is kind. And God saw that it was good. Okay, so the Most High, he likes whenever his doctrine starts getting preached by the spiritual prophet. That's what y'all doing. Whenever y'all get up and then y'all start making videos and all that other stuff, and you teaching the spiritual doctrine, that's what this talking about. Y'all at the very least at the 5th day. Y'all see that? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's a prophet who know how to teach the spiritual doctrine. He know how to rightly divide, and he understands the spiritual doctrine. And he's using those spiritual precepts in order to show the people what it means.
Right.
Read.
Verse 22. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply.
Fruit is the word. Y'all see that? Multiply my word. Get out there and teach my doctrine and multiply the number of people who believe in my doctrine. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Read.
And fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. So he's saying fill that water in the seas, because the seas got a lot of confusion, right? But I want you to put my water in that sea. All right. Fill the sea up with my water. That's the doctrine that y'all teach, right? And it's gonna let the fowl who drink that water multiply in the earth. The people who carnal, whenever they drink that water, they're gonna multiply. Y'all see that? Yes, sir.
Read.
Verse 23. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day.
That's the process of the 5th day. Evening, you didn't have any understanding of the 5th day. You weren't able to teach the spiritual doctrine yet, right? Morning, you started getting the confidence that you can teach, right? The first day, you've completed where you've gone out and you started teaching. Y'all see that? It ain't talking about you did a video necessarily. If you interacting with people in the day-to-day, and them people asking you questions and you giving them the spiritual understanding of it, that's just like teaching a video. That's the same thing. You giving them the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom that they need. Y'all see that? So don't ever get caught up and start thinking that, oh, if I don't make a video for all of the people to see, well, I'm not as successful as somebody who got a platform that can do that. That ain't what the Most High is telling you. He's telling you, learn my doctrine, go teach my doctrine. That's what he's telling you. Don't get up and there start trying to compete with your brother to see whether or not, well, since he did that, I got to do this and I got to do it better. No, that ain't what we trying to do. Cause everybody ain't gonna come on YouTube and watch a video. All right. It's gonna be a lot of people that you're gonna be dealing with in your day-to-day. That's your ministry. That's your ministry.
Right.
Whenever they ask you a question, you able to give them 2 or 3, not to give them an idea what it's talking about, to prove what it's saying.
Right.
That's the difference between the spiritual prophet and the carnal prophet. The spiritual prophet knows how to prove what he's saying. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
The Most High says the 5th day, your doctrine, the waters, can give life, wisdom to other creatures. That's what we just read. He uses the example of a whale or a giant fish to demonstrate a person that's at the 5th day. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
He's saying a person at the 5th day knows how to mix doctrine. Y'all see that? There are 2 types of prophets that's being discussed. One of them is the prophet that converted on the 3rd day. The other one has not. Because remember, we said previously that in order to be clean on the 7th day, you had to convert on the 3rd day. Y'all remember that? Okay. Yeah. So if you don't go through the 3rd day where you convert, you believe in the light,
right,
you can't make it to the 7th level. Because you will never believe. All right. This is what happened in Genesis 6. That's what that's talking about. All right. So we're going to go to Genesis 6 and see whether or not we can get some understanding of what that thing talking about. All right. So now you got a background on what happens at the 5th day. All right. Let's start reading this a little bit and see what we come up with.
Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them.
Okay, so this all these carnal people, right? These carnal prophets. And these carnal prophets started creating carnal doctrines. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Read.
Verse 2. That the sons of God.
Who are the sons of God? What makes the sons of God different than the sons of men?
What they teach.
Yes. The ones that teach the spiritual. That's what the son of God is, right? The son of man are the carnal prophets, right? So we talking about these people who learn the spiritual doctrine. They about to make an error. Because remember, what we was talking about, Elder Anderson brought that precept about Satan, right?
Yes.
So he come to take the word immediately. That's what we reading right now. All right. So y'all know. Start over again, Elder.
Genesis chapter 6 and verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
So here you are, you done made it to the 4th day, but you kind of on the fence. You know that there's a spiritual doctrine, but you don't necessarily believe, right? You don't believe. You got understanding, but you don't believe, right? Look what they did.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
So they went backward and went back to the understanding of the carnal. Y'all see that?
Yes.
This is the situation that happens to the prophet. He's the Most High is warning you. All right.
Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
What's the spirit?
The word.
So he's saying my doctrine ain't gonna always strive with man. Read.
For that he also is flesh.
He carnal. All right. So this telling a specific thing, right? He's saying that men are carnal, and that's why they end up getting tricked into going back to a carnal doctrine. So they hear something, and instead of, like we always talk about, whenever we do the Lord's Prayer, and people don't understand, you praying to the Most High to deliver you from evil, from that carnal. Help me to focus on understanding your word spiritually and not carnal. That's what Romans 8 is talking about. Delivering you from the doctrine of sin and death. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Hey, Elder, let me get 2 Peter 2:19 to 22. Now they read this all the time, but this is exactly what you're explaining. Peter had put it in his writing. He's explained it to you plain. Exactly what you're saying. 2 Peter 2:19 through 22.
Read that out.
Hold on, let me go back one so you can get the whole thought, because I don't want to catch you in the middle of
2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 18. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity,
so that means they're lying to you.
They allure through the lusts of the flesh.
All that stuff that you think in your mind, they trap you in. That's how, remember I told you before, you have they capture most of these people because you're down in your spirit. So to make you want to feel good, to make you want to belong, make you all that's all lust of the flesh.
Through much wantonness,
things that you want. You align yourself with something that, like, somebody could say that only black people can get the kingdom. You will fall through that wantonness because you want to belong. You know what I'm saying? You want to belong. You want to feel superior. That wantonness to feel superior, you'll fall into that doctrine.
That's your lust.
Those that were clean escaped from them who live in error.
So the people who converted out of that stuff is the ones who left that doctrine. Next verse.
Verse 19. While they promised them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption.
That's what you see now with all those followers in those camps and sometimes in churches. They're they're servants of corruption. They have now corrupted their mind with the lying doctrine. Read.
For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage.
Because they convert. You can convert in, convert out.
Verse 20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
So now after you escaped all that, because you started seeing what a spiritual prophet bringing out 2 or 3 precepts, you escaped all those pollutions or those lies that they were told you before. Read.
They are again entangled therein.
This is what Elder was just already talking about. They started going back into that carnal. Read.
And overcome
back into that doctrine. You started believing a man walked on water, all that foolishness again. You started going back into it. Read.
The latter end is worse with them than the beginning.
Because now you go into full bore hatred. Because the beginning was what? Just the law of love.
Verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness.
God gonna get you. Here's what he's telling you.
Yeah, way is his doctrine.
Then, after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them.
Is it? Hold on. Holy commandment. Is it plurals on that?
No, it's singular.
Singular commandment. He told you. That was delivered to you, and that's what?
Love your neighbor.
That's love your neighbor. That's the singular command. He was delivered to them. Read. So you turned back and went back to hating people.
Verse 22. But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog
is a lying prophet.
Yes.
A beast.
Yes. He's got teeth and claws. He tears the flesh. Flesh is wisdom.
Is turned to his own vomit again.
His own lies again. The vomit he's talking about his lies.
His way.
Yep.
Yes.
And the sow that was washed to her wallowing in the mire.
So now he just went back into his own word. That's all he's telling.
Yeah. He's a pig. A sow is a pig.
Right.
Yeah.
Back in his own
Elder,
dirt.
can I get one real quick?
Yes.
Revelations 14:4.
Okay.
He going into the revelation, not the revelation.
I just want to get this to precept with that Genesis 6. Revelations.
I read it. You can bring it out. Revelation chapter 14, verse 4. These are they which are not defiled with women.
Right. Because what Elder Stephen is bringing out in Genesis chapter 6 about the sons of God, right? They saw the daughters of men, right?
Yes.
A lot of people, this is for the people in the audience, they are being taught that the women is talking about physical woman. But Elder Stephen is showing that they went back, they saw the daughters of men, and that's what defiled them.
Yes.
The doctrines of men.
Yes.
Right? That's what defiled them. That's pretty much all I want to know. We can read the rest, but
the carnal, who has not been defiled by, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
It's impossible.
Right.
You cannot procreate unless you have a woman and a man coming together. It's impossible.
Right.
Okay. So it means something else.
Right.
All right. It means something else. That's all you wanted out of that?
He can keep going.
Yes.
Finish the whole thing.
We keep going.
For they are virgins.
Who are so with this, you usually read this carnally, this is the only way you get the kingdom of heaven is you a virgin.
You gotta be a eunuch or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. No. Virgins is on their clean doctrines. That's what it's talking about.
He about to explain it right here. He about to explain it right here.
Mm-hmm.
These are they which follow the Lamb,
Christ, the big L,
whithersoever he goeth.
With the 2 or 3 precepts.
That's a virgin.
Right.
That's a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
He just explained it to you.
Here a little, there a little.
Yes. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb.
That's it. That's the first.
Amen.
Fruits. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Praise.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We got another one right here that I had in my notes here. Let's see.
Okay, all praises.
It's consistent here.
For those at home, this is how you're supposed to read your Bible.
Absolutely. So we can tell you what those guys did in Genesis 6. Once they got the understanding, right? Read that, Elder.
Yes, sir. Galatians chapter 3 and verse 1. O foolish Galatians, who had bewitched you?
So he given you the definition of the doctrine of Galatia. All right. Y'all see that? He's letting you know what it was that the doctrine of Galatia is. He's telling you this is who he's talking about. So a Galatian is a person who got bewitched. And he's going to explain to you how they got bewitched. All right. Read.
That ye should not obey the truth.
Y'all see that? That's what they did. Read.
Before whose eyes Jesus Christ hath been evidently set forth.
So he's saying you got the understanding. The doctrine got taught to you. Read.
Crucified among you.
So you got the understanding of his doctrine. All right. He was crucified among you. Right. You saw what the doctrine means. Read.
Verse 2. This only would I learn of you. Receive ye the Spirit
doctrine
by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith.
Is his doctrine carnal or is his doctrine spiritual? That's what he asking them. See that? Because that's what those sons of God did. They lost the understanding that you left the spiritual doctrine that you was in, and then you got tricked into following some popular carnal doctrine. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So he's telling the people who started off getting the understanding of the spiritual, and then they came and told them a bunch of lies, and then they went and fell back in line with that carnal foolishness. What's wrong with you? Because he calling you a Galatian. That's what a Galatian is. Somebody who get tricked out of the truth and go back like that. He was talking about a dog going back to his own vomit. Read.
Are ye so foolish?
He calling you stupid.
Having begun in the spirit, are ye now made perfect by the flesh?
Now you, doctor. Go, you stupid.
Right. Right. Straight stupid. So he telling you. Now you done went through all that you went through. All these many years searching and searching and searching to try and find out what he actually saying. Then you find it, right? Then some guy come up in there and tell you something like, them black Christians don't know what they talking about. So they use code words. When you hear them talking about black Christians, they talking about us. Because they too cowardice. They too cowardice to actually say elders of Israel.
Right.
You know, that's like that movie. Would you rather be loved or feared?
Mm-hmm.
They obviously fear us.
Right.
You understand? So he telling you went through all of that. You finally got the truth. And then you let them intimidate you into going back to that foolishness. When the Most High told you ain't got to do none of that stuff they telling you to Passover, you paying all your money for your Passover fee. You getting ready to start paying this money for tabernacle that's getting ready to go down. You know, they taking all your money, they taking the fillings out your teeth.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, my pockets got fatter. After
telling you, boy,
pockets got fatter after I left all that foolishness, man.
You, boy,
you know what I'm saying?
I ain't spending money to be an Israelite, boy.
Right? It costs too expensive to be an Israelite.
I'm just glad I got out of there. I'm just glad I got out of that before I did that trust.
Man.
People signed over their life insurance.
Whenever you die, we'll make sure your family all right.
Yeah.
Make sure you sign right there.
Signs right here. Don't care about your kids. We'll take care of them.
Right. Yeah. Right. Read on.
Verse 4. Have ye suffered so many things in vain?
You done went through all of that trial, came up with the doctrine, and you gonna let it all go away? Was that all for nothing? You prayed all that long time, Lord, show me your word, Lord.
Right.
I just want to know what you mean. All of that. Now these dudes been lying all this time. They ain't told you none of the stuff that you learning now, which, by the way, you haven't paid 1 red cent.
Nope.
But you think it ain't no good because you didn't pay for it. Read on.
If it be yet in vain.
See there? Read that.
Verse 5. He therefore that ministereth to you the Spirit,
the spiritual prophet,
and worketh miracles among you.
Miracle means they can explain the word using 2 or 3. Go over there to it's John 3. Whenever Christ talking about being born again, and Nicodemus says, we know that you are a teacher sent from God because you able to do these miracles. Talking about teaching. He able to explain the word. That's what miracles is talking about. All right. Read.
Doeth he it by the works of the law?
Do he do it with the carnal law? Read.
Or by the hearing of faith?
Or by 2 or 3? Which one he using? How he giving you the answer? Is he going by that carnal law? Put them dingleberries at the bottom of your shirt.
Right.
Or is he saying, twist that cord up, your doctrine, marry it up with your Hannon doctrine, marry that up with Elder Anderson doctrine. Y'all twist that thing up together. Get me 2 or 3 precepts so we can go ahead and defeat this foolishness that this man telling these people.
What make more sense?
Way to fire on that.
Right. That's what a fringe is.
Right. So we're gonna go back here, read it again, so y'all can see what the sons of God actually did.
Genesis chapter 6 and verse 2. That the sons of God
spiritual prophet,
the daughters of men,
the doctrines of those carnal prophets at these Israelite camps or in these churches where these people teaching all this foolishness that don't make sense to you. Read.
That they were fair.
They started liking them and believing it.
Because you can get money.
Yes. Read.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
They went and started teaching, believing and teaching those lies that they learned from them carnal prophets. Read.
Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
His doctrine ain't gonna always strive with the carnal doctrine. Read.
For that he also is flesh.
He carnal right now. Read.
Yet his days shall be 120 years.
What does that mean?
12.
He's going to have the 12 doctrines, yeah.
Yes. Remember, one day is as 1,000 years. Don't sweat the zeros. Don't sweat the zeros. What does 12 mean?
Completion.
Yes.
Completion.
So now y'all see what it's saying. It ain't
Yes,
saying
sir.
ain't no man gonna live past 120 years. He ain't saying that. He said you gonna strive, man, your carnal man gonna strive against the spiritual doctrine until you get complete understanding.
Wow.
Wow.
Y'all see that?
Yes.
Man.
Could it also mean man's weakness, that fifth day? Like, him coming from carnal into spiritual, but actually he's not really sure about the spiritual. Would that be a weakness?
Yes, that's a weakness. Because here's the thing. You have to convert on the third day. Right? So when you rise up on the fourth day, you believe the word. It's a lot of people who go to the third day and then they get the understanding of the fourth day, but they don't believe. All right. So you got people who smart and who can teach this doctrine, but they just going through the motions. They don't believe. That's the situation that happened with the sons of God that he's talking about in Genesis 6. That's what happening to people today. It's a prophecy. You see that? This is talking about now. All right. This ain't a history book. This is a book of prophecy. We said that before. This is a book of prophecy. He's prophesying what's going to happen in your day. So now you got a lot of people who've been following us for some time. But we had, it was one guy, he left a comment in there. He went to that video about biblical proof that Esau is not the white man. That man saw that video and he said, oh, hell no. Right? Because of that doggone lust to hate. When he saw what we were saying, now mind you, the video is full of precepts proving everything we saying. But that hatred is so strong in him. He said, hell no, I'm out of here. Y'all teaching that? That's what the sons of God taught, the sons of men taught him. Hate the white man. So he saw that as a fair daughter. And he cleaved on to that hate. Y'all see that? That's what's happening to people. People don't know. The Most High telling you what's going to happen. That's why we don't take it personal. You can do whatever you want. All we got to do is tell you. We're not the ones who doing the final judgment. The Most High going to do the final judgment. He the one who going to decide who gets salvation and who don't. Not us. Right? You're not hurting us.
Right.
All we need to do is tell you what it means. That's what we do. Like, they never heard this before. The stuff that we explaining right now, they never heard this. right? Those guys like Captain OC or Can't See or whatever his name is. That man don't know what this talking about. That man's an idiot. Okay, he's clearly an idiot because he's blinded by another man's doctrine.
Right.
Okay, he been following us, but he don't have belief. You know, he eating a bowl of vomit every day.
Wow.
That's who they are. That's who it's talking about. That's the dog. That's the dog that returned his own vomit. Because all of them guys have seen us by now. Because we public enemy number one. That man said, come up with a lie to make those people not believe what they saying. That's what happened to Ithon. He's a son of God that got beguiled by the daughters of men. What's that daughter? That man said, look here, I'm gonna write this check. And you can cash this daughter over at Chase. And that man said, okay. He jumped off the Most High train and jumped on the check.
You wouldn't want to miss out on that quest money.
I know that's right.
Yeah, gotta get that money for that old boat ride.
That old quest.
They went into slavery on ships.
That's right. That's right. Hey.
Ithon had a big following, so
yes.
he would have taken a lot of people.
That's all right, because this is the thing, though. The Most High just showed you. He showed you. Don't get too confident thinking you good.
Mm-hmm.
Because something can come along and change your mind.
Right.
You could be a Galatian and don't even know it.
Right.
But then something come along and you like, I gotta roll with that. I gotta roll with that. That's what happens. All of this stuff in the Bible is to be a warning to the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Most High is warning you. Anybody can get it. Solomon was the smartest man ever lived. He got caught up.
He got caught up. He did.
I'm just telling you, ain't nobody safe till it's over.
Right.
That's why he said you gotta endure. Read on.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
So you got a lot of people who, when they go and they mix them doctrines, they become giants. Y'all see that? They, at the fifth day, they understand the carnal and they understand the spiritual. They can teach it, but they don't believe. There's this real famous dude who understands the carnal and the spiritual. He even wrote a precept packet.
Mm-hmm.
But he don't believe. Y'all see that? Now he's a giant over there at IUIC. That's what it's talking about. Y'all see that? This ain't a book of history. This the prophecy part. This the part they ain't teaching y'all. Y'all sitting up in there thinking it's talking about some giants walk the earth and all this other old foolishness.
Hey, let me get Baruch 3. We're going to explain what these giants are. 324 through 28. 4 verses. You explain what a giant is. Giant ain't talking about fee, fi, fo, fum. All right, we talk. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Baruch 3:20.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
O Israel, how great is the house of God?
How great is his doctrine? Read.
And how large is the place of his possession?
So he places his doctrine, and that's what he possesses you with.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 25. Great and hath none end, high and unmeasurable.
Because you can go anywhere with these. With the precepts, could take you anywhere. You see, look, we're now in Baruch now. To explain the giants. That's how that's unimmeasurable.
And high means
Can I give a
spiritual. Great also means, remember he was saying great whale and all that other stuff?
Yes.
That's spiritual. When you start seeing that great, and you already know highway, you know, it's
right.
It's elevated.
So we're back on the giants.
Verse 26. There were the giants, famous from the beginning.
Famous.
Renowned.
That were of so great stature.
They gonna march all the way up and down the street, sea of purple. They got big mega churches.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh man.
And so expert in war.
Talking about war, using their doctrine versus somebody else's doctrine. Not talking about actually war.
Yes.
Giants at war.
Yes, they can defend their doctrine very well.
Verse 27. Those did not the Lord choose.
Oh, so the giants, the Lord didn't choose them.
Neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them.
So he never give them, like he said earlier, there was a certain giant that knew some of the spiritual doctrine. He doesn't know it to the depth that the EOI has it, you know, but he knew certain spiritual words. He knew that the heart was the mind. He knew that the water was the word. But he didn't stay in practice with that because God didn't choose him. So he didn't give him the full way of the knowledge.
He didn't believe.
Verse 28. But they were destroyed.
These giants were destroyed. How?
It's a prophecy.
Because they had no wisdom.
What's the wisdom?
2 or 3, baby.
That's it.
Yeah.
Read.
And perished through their own foolishness.
So that's what the giants are. Yep, that vomit. It went back to their own foolishness. That's what the giants are. They're not talking about some 20-foot guy walking around the earth.
Right. And I want to make it clear. Now, we don't want nothing bad to happen to these men.
Right.
Okay. We love those men. We broke bread with those men. We ate. We had doggone understanding with those men, brotherhood with those men. We know now that they're wrong. And the thing is, a lot of people are following them, and them people are going to end up getting hurt because they following those men. Where you going to next, Elder Contessa?
Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 20.
Read that, Elder.
Deuteronomy chapter 2 and verse 20. That also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time. And the Ammonites called them Zamzumis.
Yeah, Zamzumans. Yeah, he said
Zamzumans.
This is talking about it's talking about giants, not giants like he said that's 20 feet tall, or how, you know, all of these movies you see and all this other stuff talking about a man who outsized and all that other stuff. It's talking about prophets. Goliath was a prophet from Gath. All right. He was a Philistine. David defeated him in a debate. These giants is not talking about huge men. All right. When the Most High is talking about Noah building that huge ark, he's saying Noah, or the person who comes with the spiritual ship, the ship is going to be a giant or renowned. It's saying the same thing. Leviathan is a giant fish. All right. But his first 4 letters of his name is Levi. He talking about a prophet. All right. The people thinking y'all going to be sitting up in there roasting up fish steaks out there in the wilderness somewhere, and the Most High talk about, he's talking about you going to be eating the carnal doctrine from a dummy. Okay, they don't know that. They don't know. All praises to the Most High. But, let's go to this next verse, finish this out.
Verse 21. A people great and many and tall.
So he's saying they got stature. He's telling you these people are renowned. All right, we're gonna get it back in Genesis 6 in a second. He's talking about renown. All right, read.
As the Anakims.
That's a doctrine of giants. That's what he's just calling them. He's given their name. Doctrine is the description that we're reading now. He's talking about there's somebody in your day, the Anakims, right? They are a people of renown because they have certain level of wisdom. All right, they know how to mix doctrines together, and they've become renowned. It could be any one of these Israelite camps, or it could be one of these churches, or whatever. All right, he's just giving you an example, a similitude of something you're gonna see in your day. Read.
But the Lord destroyed them before them.
See that? They still ain't, them giants ain't gonna last. He telling you, the giants ain't gonna win. Read.
And they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead.
Okay, so he's telling you those guys gonna be replaced. All right. All praise to the Most High. So let's go back and read this again, so we can go on ahead and give you some more information about these giants.
Genesis chapter 6 and verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men,
they started mixing them doctrines. Y'all see that? They found out about the spiritual doctrine, but then they cleaved to those sons of men's doctrines. Y'all see that? This is the 5th day. He's telling you what could happen to you if you don't believe. Read.
And they bear children to them.
So once a person reached the 5th day and then he start believing in that carnal again, he gonna start creating a new doctrine. All right. So he'll tell you Deuteronomy 22 and 5 telling a woman she can't wear pants, but it ain't saying that. It's not saying that. So he creating that's a child he just created. A woman can't wear pants, but the Most High didn't say that. That's his child. That's his doctrine. Right. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Read.
And they bear children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
They got a lot of stature. Stature means somebody who's very, very, they're important. People have respect for them. Okay, that's what that stature is talking about. a man of renown. That's what a giant is. He's telling you, a giant is a man of renown. The leaders of these Israelite camps, the leaders of these big mega churches, they are men of renown, but they are mixing their doctrine with the Most High's doctrine. Some of them have different levels of spiritual understanding, but they're mixing it with that carnal, and they're confusing the people, right? And the Most High is ticked off about it. All right.
Hey, when it's saying mighty men which were of old, it's basically saying that they didn't kill the old man.
Remember, whenever he said that a mighty man is a man that can defend his doctrine, right? That's what a mighty man is. He's a prophet who knows how to defend his doctrine. All right. That's a mighty man. They used to always say, you know, like a guy who had a lot of videos, you know, on YouTube or whatever. Oh, he a mighty man. He a mighty man. You know, he get out there and he embarrass and humiliate the public and all that. He done threw 75 scriptures at the person. The person don't know what he talking about. But, you know, on camera, it looked like, oh man, that man's smart. He killing him. He destroyed him. Da 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 da. That's a mighty man.
He took his Jesus piece.
Yes, exactly. He made him take that Jesus piece off.
Is a giant the same? Would that be the same as a great whale or a big fish?
Yes. Okay. But it's a different. It depends on the context that they're using it.
Okay.
All right. So, because a great whale came and swallowed Jonah.
Right.
But the whale was righteous. All right. So Jonah was the whale. All right. The Most High had to reteach Jonah. All right. Because Jonah, he the ship. The people on the ship, they asking him to doggone teach him and he won't do it. So they threw him in the water. The water is the word. He need to be dipped in the water again. He got to get some understanding. Right. So now he gets swallowed by a whale. A whale is a prophet. Whenever the whale got through teaching him, vomiting him out, he had the right frame of mind. Y'all see what's going on? That's what that metaphor talking about. It ain't no whale ever swallowed no man and then the man lived to talk about it. That man gonna come out as waste if a whale swallows him.
Right.
Y'all understand that?
Yeah.
So these people, it's in the Bible. I believe everything in that book. Well, that ain't saying what you say it's saying because you don't understand how to read it.
That's horrible.
So you once you get the understanding of what it's saying, because we mentioned earlier in Genesis 1 where it was talking about the fifth day. It was talking about he made great whales. Okay. So it all depends on the context of what he's using it for. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, yo, I got a question.
Yes,
quick.
sir.
So you said you're talking about the 1,000 days.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the one. Or can we go somewhere real quick?
Yeah.
I'll ask. Acts 7 and 14. Like, for instance, this verse. I'll wait till you get there. Yeah, so right here, when you read the 315, you read that as 3 and 5, or would it be?
What's 3 score?
It's supposed 60. To be like 60.
That's 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what's going on? So it's talking about something carnal, all right? Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him and all his kindred, 75 souls. So 75, that's 75. You see what I'm saying? But it's talking about that they is this talking about Jacob back whenever he gave him the understanding or whatever? Let me see what it's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when. You look at it.
Or like
yeah.
Then sent Joseph called. Yeah, he said 315 souls. So you had how much? 3 knowledge. 15 souls with that, like a camp.
Yeah.
Like you see the dudes on the corner.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about. So sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him.
Yeah. So what it's
his
talking about
father
is
Jacob. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
because he's still.
Yeah, he's still. It's talking about whenever Jacob went to Egypt, he called. The Most High sent Jacob to Egypt, and he sent Joseph to Egypt, and he called Jacob. All right. Remember, at the time, Jacob had stopped teaching. Remember, he lost his spirit whenever Joseph ended up. He thought Joseph was dead. All right. So, but Joseph took his doctrine and he expounded upon it. All right. So, but he's talking about how, like he says, then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him and all his kindred. So everybody who was with Jacob, right? And then it says 315 souls. Now, when you go to Genesis, because I got this in my notes. I'm almost positive I got this in my notes.
It talks about the 70 souls.
Yes, because what ended up happening, right? What he did, he said, hold on.
I think it's around like,
because it's around about like 46
and 26,
something like that.
Something.
Yes, that's it. So what he's saying the 3 and he's adding the 1 and the 5, because it ended up being 66. Y'all see that? Let's go there.
Yeah, because I just saw that.
Cause this is I was gonna get to this whenever it came down to 7, because the Most High, he don't use necessarily exact numbers, right?
It's kind of,
See what I'm saying? So it's because they sit and they say the 7 heads. Well, 7 heads, there might be 3,000 churches out here. You see what's going on?
Right.
So it ain't talking about 7.
Right.
So when somebody get and they start talking about 10 horns and they say, well, that's NATO. Well, it might be more than 10, because 10 means something else. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
All praise to the Most High. What'd you say it was? 23? What'd you say?
20. It's Genesis 46 and
right
26.
There. Now check this out. Now look how he counts, right? Read that for me, Elder.
Yes, sir. Genesis chapter 46 and verse 26. All the souls that came with Jacob unto Egypt, which came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' wives, all the souls were 66.
You see that? So, but if you go back to Acts, it says 315. 1 and 5 make 6. Y'all see how it ain't gonna necessarily be the way you think it is.
Man, it's kind of like tipping on the 3, right?
Right.
Which way you gonna go?
But check out what he did, right? And the sons of Joseph, which were born in Egypt, were 2 souls, right? All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came out of Egypt, were 310 men. It said 66. If you add Joseph and his 2 sons, what that add up to? That's 69.
69.
66 plus 3 is 69. He said it's 70. Y'all see that? 7. Y'all see that? That's how the Most High do. That's why I'm saying when somebody get up in there and they start telling you, right? And it's funny that you, this is what I, for 7. But the thing is, whenever the Most High counts, these guys getting up in there saying it means this, it means that, it means this.
Literal.
They ain't got no precepts.
Right.
Because you just demonstrated that 15 is actually talking about 6.
6, yeah.
Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, again, the people don't really understand what all this stuff means. You gotta take your time and you got to look and see how it's used somewhere else, right? And then you'll be able to really get an understanding of what he actually saying. But it's meaning to these numbers. Am I gonna sit here and say I know everything there is to know about numbers? No. This book is too infinite. But it's certain situations where you can look and you can see, and you'll say, well, wait a minute. When he started talking about 6, right? He talking about somebody who's got a whole lot of understanding, but he don't believe yet, right?
Right.
So now here it is, he got 2 6s, right?
Because what you say is the same.
He called.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He called Jacob, right, to Egypt, right? But Jacob was 66. He didn't become 7 until Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim came together with him. Now they 7, because he said they 70. You see what's going on? So Jacob was a man of a lot of understanding, but he lost his faith when he lost Joseph. He stopped teaching. Y'all see what's going on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then his house came together whenever he got Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's once you also say like, okay, so Esau is the firstborn, then comes Jacob, he gets shown the word, then he wrestles with it. That's where a person makes a choice.
Yes.
You're gonna stay Jacob,
yes,
or you're gonna convert.
Yes.
Israel.
But he called himself Israel, but it wasn't until the Most High gave him the name Israel. You see that?
Right.
It was in Genesis 35:10. In Genesis 32, Jacob called himself Israel. But in Genesis 35:10, the Most High says, your name is Jacob, but I'm calling you Israel now. Because he went in and converted them people over there in Shechem. See what's going on?
Sounds a bit familiar.
Yes. Yes. It's talking about now, man. Listen. Y'all got it. I know, and Elder Anderson, he being facetious and he knows what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna get what he's saying. But that's what's going on now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what's going on now. It's happening, and God bless them. The people, they can't see, all of what's happening, but that's what's happening right now. People converting, man. These people starting to get it. They starting to get it. We coming together as the 12 tribes. You know what I'm saying? We bringing all of the different doctrines and stuff as we keep learning and all that other stuff. We done messed around and figured out Joseph. So now we 7. We 12. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Well, one don't know, the other one know. We are
all
unit.
praise to the Most High.
Y'all see what's going on?
All praise.
All
Yes,
praise.
sir.
All praises.
All crazy. Thank you, Elder Misha, because you were able to give us some more information. You know, I'm glad that you did that. So, but let's read this again, because now y'all got better understanding of what's actually going on. All right, because y'all see how he used the words. Right, read that, Elder.
Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
Okay, so this is what's happened. He's talking about now. All right. Read.
And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
When the Most High talking about evil, he talking about carnal. Okay. So what he's telling you is, for the most part, these preachers nowadays, all these preachers are carnal. Now, there's a different definition for evil here in the world where we live, meaning like, you know, a serial killer, somebody who's a murderer, that ain't what he's talking about. Okay. Not that those people aren't evil. He's talking about the preachers, the pastors, because they deceiving these people, because they not telling the people what the Most High is saying. That's why
that won't bark.
Them evil. Yes. Y'all see what's going on?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now look what happened.
Verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
So he letting you know the Most High is ticked off because all these people have gone into wickedness, because the people he left to teach the people didn't do their job. So now the people wicked. The people ain't got no understanding. Now he getting rid. You sitting there and watching as this place is shutting down. They doing space walks and all kind of stuff, because them beautiful people gonna get up out of here. All right, they gonna get up out of here. At least they gonna try. Right? They making all the preparations to get out of here. You're seeing all of these quote unquote spaceships that man has made, and they doing all this testing, all this R&D to make sure they got everything right. Okay,
trying to get it dialed in.
That's what I'm talking about. You sitting there watching it.
Yes, I see the spaceships come by my house all the time.
Man.
I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you, boy. The people got Elon Musk and them testing everything. NASA sitting up in there working with. I'm telling you. You sitting there watching it, because it looks like it's over. We ain't gonna necessarily say we know when it's gonna happen. It's gonna be this time. That we would never say that, because only the Most High know. But I tell you what, it sure is a lot of preparation going on. So the Most High, his heart is grieved at this wickedness. And what he say he gonna do? He gonna destroy the earth. Now, he said he destroyed it with water before, right? But this time he gonna destroy it with fire. All right? So he's telling you, nonetheless, he gonna destroy it. All right. So we've built the ark. The ark is the congregation. All right. That's the ship. We built the ark, right? And we taken on beasts. There's a lot of carnal people who converting over to the doctrine. All right. So we getting the ship filled up. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
All right? Yeah. That's what's happening now. The rest of the world ain't gonna be able to see it. Just like he say. They was up in there eating, giving away in marriage and all that other stuff, and then it started raining. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to miss it because they're not paying attention. They're going to be sitting up in there worrying about whether or not they can get notary to come and notarize this trust that he getting ready to get his man. You know what I'm saying? That's what these people doing, trying to buy their way into heaven. They ain't gonna be able to do it. Because the Most High said, you got to do it the way I said do it. It's free. Y'all see what's going on? All praise to the Most High. We're gonna go.
They might have complimentary notary services.
Hey man, they might have complimentary notary services in hell. Yeah, it might might end up. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to get your paperwork stamped or something like that. That's a rumor I heard or something. You know? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's see what else we can find here. So y'all can get the understanding about how the Most High work. All right? Read that for me, Elder.
Yes, sir.
Elder Johannic gave me this one right here. Way back in the day.
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 17 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again.
All right, so he's kind of talking about, remember we was talking about the levels of a man's understanding, all right?
Verse 2, he gave them few days.
Some understanding.
And a short time.
A little bit of understanding. In comparison. Read.
And power also over the things therein.
So he gave him a doctrine, right? The ability to teach a doctrine. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Read.
Verse 3. He endued them with strength by themselves.
He gave them understanding. All right. Read.
And made them according to his image.
So he got two types, right? One with strength by themselves, and he gave some of them his image, right? So carnal, spiritual. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Read.
Verse 4. And put the fear of man upon all flesh. And gave him dominion over beasts and fowls.
Okay, so he bringing them to a point where man becomes powerful, all right, with his doctrine, right? Read that.
Verse 5. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord.
5th day. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Read.
And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding.
They got great wisdom at the 6th day. Read.
And in the 7th, speech.
So, read.
An interpreter of the cogitations thereof.
Okay, so he's letting you know at the 7th day you got complete wisdom. You're able to interpret everything. Y'all see that? But I went there to let y'all know at the 5th, you at the 5th day, you got the 5th operation, right? So you can teach. All right. The 6th day, you got a lot of understanding, right? Primarily, the 6th day is that you don't believe, right? And the 7th, speech. So you got the full thing, and interpreter of the cogitations thereof. So now you able to interpret it, you believe.
Elder.
Yes.
Does this tie into what Elder Samuel was trying to teach us last week about smelling and tasting and seeing and touching?
Yes. But
okay,
he's all of that stuff was so. What's smell? That's wisdom. What's tongue? What's tasting? That's wisdom. What's hearing? That's wisdom. You get what's going on? That's what it's talking about. It's talking about different types of wisdom. But like he said, the wisdom has two sides to it. You got the carnal and you got the spiritual.
Okay.
See what's going on?
Yes, sir.
So in the situation where a person is growing in understanding, he has to separate himself, right? He's got to repent and choose the spiritual. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.